I'm King Tro and I'm conscious.
I'm King Philly and I'm conscious.
King Ben and I'm conscious.
And we
are
are the
the
Conscious
Conscious
Kings. And the topic that we would like to discuss about to you guys is getting things off your chest. And and see, many people have, a hard time, expressing themselves and letting go of, hurt, anger, and resentment towards situation and towards others. And all it does is, cause destruction to you and others, if you, hold it in and bottle it up inside you, and you need to learn how to let it go, because, once you let it go, you'll feel like a bird, trapped in a cage for a while, and finally being free, and flying off in the beautiful sunset. You know what I mean? Talk to him, Philly.
Yes, sir. Like my brother just said, it's always good, y'all, to release anything that's off your chest, anything that you're going through. Express yourself. If you're going through a tough time, a tough challenge, believe me, I understand. We all understand. Everybody goes through certain situations in life. We all have our hardships. We all have things that we're going through. So never, always when you're meeting someone or talking with someone, never be quick to judge anybody, because it's all about getting to know them first. It's all about walking in their shoes and seeing life through their own eyes, through their own perspective. And if if you see that someone is going through something, talk to them. Talk to them, because they might have a hard time expressing things within that they don't feel comfortable talking about. But once you give them that that shoulder, that ear, like, hey, it's okay, you can talk to me, you whatever you're going through, then that will help so many people out, because there's so many voices that want to be heard and want that ear to hear them, but they don't know how. So always, y'all, never be afraid. Never think that you're being too sensitive to express what's going on inside, because if you do that, that could just might save your life.
Exactly.
Honestly, speak to him, Ben.
Man, going off of what my brothers just said about getting stuff off your chest, you gotta see your emotions the same way you see your body, all right? We're being fed emotions all throughout the day, just like we're being fed with food, with liquids and everything. So anybody who thinks that it's natural for you to just hold all of that stuff in, then you also think it's natural to hold all the stuff inside your bowels and to never use the bathroom. And like we all know, when you do that, you end up in some deeper stuff than what's inside of you, right?
Exactly.
So you guys gotta learn that it's, like they said, it's all right to let it out. This is why artists are so powerful. People think it's because of their talent, and it's that, but the talent is just a vehicle. It's like the toilet for what's inside.
Exactly.
All right, nobody's ever met an artist out there who's had just a good life always. No, because they talk about the pain that we go through, whether it's heartbreak with a spouse, or it's heartbreak with family, you know what I'm saying, or frustration with themselves.
Or losing a job.
Losing a job, you know what I'm saying? I can make a song about that. But the point is, they let it out in the form of a song, in the form of a story. You know what I'm saying? That's their way of relieving themselves and being able to move on forward. Because let me tell you something. You see these trap rappers and all of that, right? How they talk about the streets and all of that stuff. All right, yes, you could say their motive is money, but you would talk to them deep down inside, and they would say, if it wasn't for rap, if I wasn't busy doing rap music, if I wasn't busy doing art and telling a story of myself and of other people,
Painting a picture
that everyone else has been inside of, if it wasn't for that, I'd be doing stupid stuff like going out there and hurting the next person.
Exactly. Preach.
Exactly.
You feel me? And you guys need to understand that the emotions you keep in, negative or positive, you will end up feeding to other people.
Yes.
Because those emotions is
Yes.
that's what they say, what we are the product of our past.
Yes.
Because whatever you go into becomes part of who you are, becomes part of your aura.
Yes.
All right. I know you guys have seen that person who's always seems dark, you know what I'm saying? They just always seem like there's something bad going on in their lives, you know what I'm saying? But then you see them one day, and it doesn't take much for you to notice this person having a good day today. Why? Because they passed through some good energy around that time, and you can see that. I mean, you don't see it with this. You may use this to see it, but you can tell, right? Same thing with those people who are always in high spirits, always in a good mood. You're gonna tell the day when they're going through some challenges. You're gonna know, like, this person, what's going on? Something's going on. Why? Because they're not hiding nothing. The fact that they keep it inside shows even more on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I was watching a TED Talk about a year ago. It was this guy who developed ESP. He was apparently part of a group with the government. The government had hired him and a group of people with these psychic abilities that they developed to help them find codes for ships and, you know, find where enemies were. Basically, they were finding stuff that we couldn't see with the naked eye machines by using their brain, right? And this man, his mentor, the guy who was head of his sector of those psychic workers, he said that man was asked one day, how in the world was this man able to think up some lost codes that were in a sunken enemy ship? How was he able to come up with that in his vision?
Speak to him, Ben. Speak to him.
You know what the guy said?
What did
He said, in the psychic world, it is known that whatever is hidden the most puts out the most light.
Amen.
Most people keep stuff inside because they want to hide it. They don't want everybody knowing what's really going on.
What's going on in the closet?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, sister. I'm going to tell you, the more you hide it, the more it's visible. The world's a mirror.
Yes.
You know? It may not be everyone that's going to see it. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time. And you can't fool yourself.
And I just want to leave him with one more message, y'all, before we pass on to my brother here. The eyes tell a story. When you look into a person's eyes, believe me, y'all, looking into someone's eyes, you can tell if someone is lying. You can tell if someone's happy. You can tell if someone's sad. You can tell if someone is going through it. You can tell everything just by looking into a person's eyes. Looking into someone's eyes is like looking into their soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what we portray out, basically people that are negative and people that hate on other people, it's not simply that they necessarily hate that person, but it's because they're fighting inner demons in themselves.
Yes.
You see, what you put out there, y'all, is a reflection of what you feel deep inside. So if you're feeling hatred towards someone, that's something that they're feeling inside themselves. And we have to love one another. We have to love our enemies. We have to love our friends. We have to love everybody around us, y'all. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all created equally. Forget the race, forget the age, forget all of that. We are all created equally as one. We need to stand together, y'all. Our time is coming. We're not gonna live forever. You know, we just borrowing this life. We just sharing this life. Once we move on, we're moving on to the next chapter that God has intended for us to go. So remember, love your neighbor, love everyone around you. Speak to him, bro.
Exactly. And I just want to, let you guys know a personal story about my life. Recently, I've, had a conversation with my mother, and growing up, she wasn't always a part of my life, due to certain situations. And growing up, it scarred me in the inside. I held all those emotions, inside of me, and I didn't let her know how I really felt, and it hurt me for a while. You know what I mean? And, recently I finally built up the courage to, let it all out and I told her how I really felt. And at the end of the day, it made me feel better. You know what I mean? It took a huge weight off of my shoulders, you know what I mean? And that's what you guys need to learn how to do, is, you know, learn how to, you know, get rid of those, you know, those emotions and let them free, you know, let them free. But, you know, we're going to close up this video, you know. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share this video, you know, to anybody needing and, you know, an inspiration, you know. But it's your boy King Trell,
And it's your boy King Philly.
It's your boy King Ben.
and we
We
out.
are the Conscious Kings.
Peace.
And love.